Okay, that should be everything set up. We will have a see. But anyway, welcome to the stream everyone for day number 3. Here we are. Okay, so I fixed the, well, part of the issue we were having yesterday. So we should be in a bit of a better state today, from what I can tell. I can't remember exactly. So we're waiting for an opponent. Okay, so this is still one thing that hasn't been fixed yet. That's the first thing to do on my list today. So let's just have a... hopefully be able to show off if, or what happens when we do have some users that can do something. Like... yeah, this will be better. Oh, I forgot to restart the server, didn't I? That's something we're also going to be working on. A lot to work on today. But a lot of it's just going to be small fixes, I think. I don't believe there's going to be too much to do on the rest of this system. So yeah, there we go. We've got both of them having one minion in the hand now. So we put that here. We're waiting for an opponent. Put this one here. And the board hasn't shown up. That was not what I found yesterday. Why has that happened then? I fixed it yesterday. I'm sure I did. Well, let's try again. I fixed something, I guess is what is actually happening here then. Oh, for goodness sake. Right. So many fails. Hey Mark, how's it going? We had this working. I've possibly just got a small issue then to fix up here. Oh. Okay. Oh, hang on though. So this guy's waiting for the opponent. He plays this minion. He's got nothing to do. Why are we not advancing from that point? That is a fail. Head banging fun. My head is definitely banging against something a lot of the time. So why is this happening then? We're submitting things for dueling, but then it's not exactly working out as planned, so I wonder if we have an issue somewhere. I need to stop that because there's glare. Right. So over here, we're meant to be... right. So here we create the element here, and we have this send attack to server once we have called show facing screen. So we're nearly there, Sasfog. We're close. Not quite yet. I thought I'd fixed it, but it seems that suddenly today it's not working again. I'm trying to think of why that would be, but this should probably be the last day of dual phase action, apart from maybe some bug fixing tomorrow, which I find tonight. So what's happening potentially on the server side then? So if we submit a card, where is that? It's on game.js. What's the function called? So render cards. If our on click is toggle selected, that's not what we want. set turn number, show no playable cards, else. We make this do this, and then we do submit for duel. Okay. So for our card, we send that, and then we submit the user ready submit for duel. So find user ready. So if the opponent is ready, if the card we are submitting here is null, then we say op.facing is that. Yeah, that makes sense. Else the opponent is facing nothing. And if the opponent is facing nothing and the user is facing nothing, then we just start the next turn. So, I guess we need to find out whether we're not hitting a new turn because the turn count isn't going up. So we know that we're not doing this. We submitted a user. We submitted a card. Socket.emit, show facing. User.facing and op.facing. This should, well, this doesn't have to say true anyway. So I guess what we'll do then is we'll just do a console log for now and just double check whether this is getting hit. Because if this isn't getting hit, then that shows that there is an error. Is it failing to end turn? It shouldn't be. Oh, I need to restart the server as well. I don't think it's failing to end the turn because, as weird as it sounds, ending the turn is starting the turn here. And it shouldn't be hitting this line. It could potentially be, but I'm fairly sure we should be down here hitting this. I've also just realized that this should be in an else. Because we don't want that to happen if that's the case. Yeah. Okay, so we need to restart the server again and then load up our two clients. My favorite part. Okay, so submit that mulligan and submit this mulligan. Now we've got a bug there that this guy's now got two smallest minions. That shouldn't be possible, but we'll just click it anyway. This guy's waiting for opponent, that's fine. Then we do this, and we've hit that hit thing. And now this guy here should be taking an action. Okay, so we know roughly where we're going wrong then. Well, the main issue is that this show facing isn't going properly. Because when we do this show facing, so we create the duels minion container, which they both have. We reload the sorcerers, which is potentially an issue. This could be causing an issue. Well, let's just go through the rest of this and just double check those. So if remove WFO equals true, and there isn't one, and there is one on the screen, then we remove it. If the opponent facing is not equal to null, then we show this. So I reckon that it's this load sorcerers. The only other thing I could think of doing as well then is calling a console log. We could just put this as an else statement here as well. so we should probably just do that. Else we admit that the user is ready. And on the ready up user thing here, I'm just going to do another quick console.log. A user has readied up since they have nothing to play. Okay. No, we did have another console.log here, didn't we? We have lots. Hey Edge, how's it going? Thanks for popping by. Yeah, Mark's pretty much got it down to a T. I've broken everything, it seems. Not everything. This is probably in a better working state than it was when you guys saw it yesterday. It's potentially not too bad of an idea to ask how it goes, but so we're basically making a card game. I don't think you were here yesterday, so welcome anyway. If you were, then I apologise. There was lots of people here yesterday. Like, we had over 2,000 viewers in the day. Pretty crazy. So a user is readied up since they have nothing to play. Okay. We know what the issue is then. We know what the issue is then. This means that that issue that we were having is all down to this here. So when we call load sorcerers, for some reason we're having an issue with doing so. Why are we having an issue with doing so? So we load us. Of course we don't. Oh, I'm an idiot. Because when we load sorcerers, we probably need two things to be submitted. And I would have known that if I had, if I'd bothered to actually leave the consoles open there. Right, so when we go show facing screen, we also need to pass through the opponent's deck as well, or the opponent's sorcerer. So I'll pass through here opsorc, and through here then, where are we? We need to pass opsorc. You should just copy and paste this, otherwise I'm going to end up saying it so many times you guys get bored of it. So yeah, when we call show facing quite a few times here, don't we? So we want to pass the op.sorcerer, and then here we want to pass the user.sorcerer. Here we want to pass op, here we want to pass user. Op.sorcerer. I suppose that's okay. Let's do that here. Replace in current butter. Do I use any linter in Atom? I don't. I probably should do at some point, shouldn't I? But yeah. It's tired, I'm early. Oh dear. And then we pass through the user.sorcerer here. And we just need to do that for here as well. And there we go. That should be working now. Let's test. Yeah, I know that linters are generally a good thing. I've just never gotten along with them. I've tried a couple before, but it's probably something I should look into at some point. Is linters. Especially considering how bad I am at coding. I use Atom for bash scripting and I love the linter stuff. I'll have a look at it probably after the stream as something to do. Okay, so yeah, this is working now. And the only issue here then is the fact that we haven't removed the other stuff, but that's fine for now. We just need to remove that. And here if we click attack dual opponent, we hit that. And again, this bit's a bit of an issue. But what's happened is we've moved on to turn 2. And now we can play this for this guy. I can play this for this guy. And they both get to attack the opponent. And yeah, we get this now. However, they both seem to be able to draw from infinite decks. Oh, we also had an issue there. So we have an issue for if we attack something twice. Okay. Also, it looks like this person took the damage. Perhaps I've set that up wrong. Okay. So the first thing we need to do then is sort out the update sorcerer, which is actually on this side. So this loads sorcerers. What we're going to do then is we're going to say if document.get element by ID own sorcerer is in null, then we do all of this stuff. Else we will literally just call document.getElement by ID for a load of these things and just update them. So we'll do document.getElement by ID. Oh, that's where things start to become a bit of a pain in the bum. Because, well, I guess what we'll do here then is we'll say own HP, own attack, whoops, own armor, own weapon, and own gold. Down here we'll just do, oh no, we're fine. Op, HP, and stuff like that. Be back later making a tea. Okay. Yeah, I know that edge. I do know. Yeah, I know all of that. I just sometimes don't use it. So op weapon and op gold. So then what we're going to do is we're going to do document.getElement by ID own HP dot inner HTML equals own sorcerer dot. Yeah, I just do stuff out of habit, like I hit save after every line that I do for some reason. It's just habitual. So we're going to set this to have a HP of own sorcerer dot HP. Oh no, we're actually going to say equals HP plus that. Okay. Do I use Linux? I had to for a previous university assignment, but apart from that, no, I haven't. Okay. Don't know why that came out a bit strangely. Okay. Right. Catch you later, Mark. Own attack is equal to attack this armor, own arm, weapon, gold. I should have just written these all down here and then just had to have done other bits, which is easier. Yeah, Linux seems like one of those systems where if you're good at it, then you're at a major advantage, but if you're not good at it, you're just like, well, it was nice knowing you. But yeah. Op, arm, op, weapon, and op, gold. And so we want to make all of these those, and then attack, armor, weapon, and gold. And then copy, paste, hump. Okay. So now this should stop us from having that whole issue before. This should probably be put in some kind of like pairing array system with for loops, but this is alright for now, I guess. Developing a framework to build Linux distributions based upon Linux from scratch. I just sidelined that for a bit while I work on a Linux bot. Awesome, man. That's pretty cool. I really like the whole game dev category just because I get to see what other, well, not just game dev, but like the programming category as well. Seeing what other people are doing, because like there's very rarely two things that people are working on that are the same. It just amazes me. I love it. Alright. I still have a bit of morning voice, so I do apologise for that. You wouldn't believe I've been up for nearly 2 hours. Okay. So we'll just confirm that mulligan and move this along. Yeah, not anyone around that works on the same things I do on Twitch. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. It is tricky, isn't it? Like, I had the choice of what to build here, really. I decided to go for a card game, and I kind of like it. I'm enjoying working on it so far, but it's presenting some challenges that are quite unique, which is both good and bad, I suppose. Okay, so we took the HP away, we started the new turn, and if we put this minion on here, see, this shouldn't be showing that we can attack the dual opponent, because the thing is, this person shouldn't be getting this update, because this person shouldn't be ready. So, some people are like Bash. I think we've got an issue at the moment where the users are getting readied up, because I'm also getting in the server console the user has readied up, which shouldn't be happening. So our line of code up here is getting hit a lot more than it should be. So when do we call ready up user? Ready up user? Here when we receive ready up user from over here. When do we call that? Oh, okay. So this is getting hit because of the fact that we are we're saying if the self.facing is null, then we're hitting this. Now the thing is, we call this function twice, and I guess what we also need to add to show facing screen then is whether or not we should be readying up the user. I think that's the best thing to do. So ready up here, and we'll say, instead of having this as an else, we'll just do if ready up is true, then we'll do this. And therefore whenever we call ready up user, which I thought happened a few times here, no? When are we calling ready up user then? Just down here. Oh no, it's the show facing thing that we need to work on. Show facing screen. Then this is probably called quite a few times over here. No? Oh yeah. It should be on the server side. I get confused. And this should be saying ready up. Ready up. So this is when when is this called? So this is when we're doing show facing. So here then we emit to the server. Well, when do we want to ready up the user? We only ever want to ready up the user if their opponent is facing something and they are not. So if they are not facing something and their opponent dot facing is not null, then we send true to the user. Send false here, and I believe we just send false everywhere else. I believe that was the only place we should pass true, because that's the only place that we should be loading that line of code. We'll find out soon enough when everything begins to break. Whoops. So here then, if the opponent no, we don't want to call this here either. Okay, so let's have a double check. Work on automation. I want people to be able to look at the code directly so the scripting language makes sense. Yeah, I guess. So let's double check whether that worked or not then. And hopefully we should now have those submit attacks going through at the right time. Okay, so this guy's waiting for the opponent, that's good. We'll do this. And they will get updated. We'll then, this person's just waiting. So here then, we should have a waiting for opponent screen, since we're not doing anything. So where are we not calling show WFO properly? Well, let's just double check what we've done is correct first. So go here, attack dual opponent, waiting for opponent. Right, so this guy isn't actually ready though. So we hit part C. So this person is not ready. So this is part of this that I've just fixed, I suppose. So I think we're calling. We should probably close a couple of these now. So when we're calling, I think it's show facing. Do we call this anywhere else here? Is this going to be an RPG? It's actually going to be a card game with sort of RPG feel to it. So you're going to be able to... You're going to face the card, which the opponent puts down for you, and then be able to soul summon it from their last state that it was in before it died onto your board, and then you have like a Magic the Gathering style board phase to the game as well. So it's a little bit of a sort of more of an RPG version of a CCG. So yeah. Shouldn't the one that plays the minion card be able to attack as well? Well, if they don't have anything on their... if they don't have anything to attack, so the best way, like the whole thing here, the whole way that this works is so much easier to just show rather than tell. So what's basically happening is so this guy here, right, he has I'm just going to confirm the mulligan for the purposes of the thing here. Right, okay. So this guy's got 2 playable cards here, okay? And this guy's got no playable cards. The cards that this player is going to play are the cards that his opponent are going to have to kill. Okay? So this guy could play one of these 2 1-drops. That's a bug, because there should only be one 1-drop, but we're going to ignore that for now. So we're going to put this down on the board. This person doesn't have an attack option because he can't attack the minion he's set his opponent. And since his opponent didn't set him anything to attack, he's got nothing to do here. So he's just waiting idly for the opponent to finish off killing the minion. So we're going to click here, attack dual opponent. Now the little issue here is that this guy isn't actually getting readied up at the moment, which is an issue which I'm just trying to revise. But yeah, this guy shouldn't be doing anything anyway. He should just here be sent to the server that he's ready. But I buggered that up a little bit when I set this new variable that has to be set to true. So this is So this would mean then that the issue is coming from the fact that our ready up here is just being set to false, I would assume. I wouldn't assume that it's because we're hitting the ready up function. Let's have a check. So the ready up function doesn't have a console log. I'll put a console log in it for now. A user has readied up. Because I'm fairly sure we're not calling this where we should be. Okay, so you could just set your readies to false when you attack. I believe that's what we're doing, right? Because this here is like the whole coding, the whole part behind, the whole logic behind the attacking part. So if a user has killed the minion successfully, then we set its facing to null, and we say if the opponent is ready and they're facing nothing, then we do this. And we're just going to have to wait for the opponent to kill off their minion. Else, if they're facing null as well, we're going to end the turn and set. Obviously, we're doing these op.ready falses here. Then here, if the opponent isn't ready, then we're just going to wait for them. And yeah, because the issue here is I'm also got these console logs because I was testing this out last night, and this is the current place where we're getting hit, where we're hitting. So we're getting into the server log. No! Thank you for the follow, Edge. Much appreciated. Welcome to the stream today. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're hitting this at the moment. So we're basically saying that the opponent isn't ready, which shouldn't be the case. I'm trying to work out why our opponent isn't being put through to be ready. And I'm fairly sure that's part of this ready up thing here. So that may have been really incoherent. I apologise for that. But what I need to do then, and we're also not hitting this, I'm fairly sure, since, yeah, this guy's just not readying up. So how are we gonna do this? So if the opponent, I need to find where my logic is for this now. Okay. So user ready here. If the opponent is ready, then this might be it here actually. Okay. So if the opponent is facing null and the user is facing null, then we emit false false. But actually what we should be doing here is saying else if op.facing is null and user.facing is not null, then we're gonna emit, my mouse keeps doing that at the moment. So if the opponent is facing nothing, then we want to ready them up. And we also need to do another else if op.facing isn't null and the user.facing is null. Then we basically want to do this, but we're going to swap the true and false around. Okay, that should fix the error that we were having there, hopefully. So let's load up, try and make it so that both users now have a well, one of them has a 1 drop, so this guy does. We'll mulligan that back so we don't get 1. Okay. So now we'll put this minion for, so this person's waiting for the opponent. We'll put this minion up. I think we screwed up again, haven't we? So if the opponent is facing nothing and the user is facing nothing, then we start a new turn. Else if the opponent is facing nothing and the user is facing something, then we don't ready up the user, but we ready up the opponent. Oh, because we're doing this. So we should put this to the top. I reckon that's the issue there then. Put that to the top. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm fairly sure that's what you were just saying, wasn't it? Sassfog. I'm not doing a very good job here, am I? Apologies. This was stuff that should have been fixed last night, that I thought was fixed. Actually, we'll just keep this because we can't play a minion now. This guy's going to play a minion, but he's still not set to ready, it looks like. Hmm. So if the opponent is facing nothing and the user is facing something, we admit here that the user is not ready to be readied up. Actually, I've just realised we're never hitting this here. We should be hitting this here though, because we've set this to true. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Let's have a look. So that's interesting. Oh no, this was a known bug anyway. This was a known bug. Never mind. Okay, that was something I was meant to be working on now, but we've got issues with what we were not working on, or what we were working on yesterday still. Just give us both a 1-drop, man. What is this? There we go. So this person's waiting, this person's got this. We do that. And so the person that just submitted that card isn't... We're never hitting this show facing, so we've got an issue before show facing. But what is that issue? We're not hitting this, we wouldn't expect to, because the op facing isn't, the show facing isn't coming up. So we're hitting something wrong here then. So if the opponent is ready, if our card is not null, we do this, else we do this. That part doesn't matter, that was working. So if the opponent is facing nothing and the user is facing nothing, then we just start a new turn, which currently isn't working. Else if the opponent is facing nothing and the user is not facing nothing, then we set the op.ready to false, and we emit to both servers, to both clients, show facing. But we're never hitting this. Why not? What we'll do then is we will do this. And we'll do that. Yeah, that's pretty much what that's what this function is here. So that's what we're trying to work out here. I guess we should also call, we'll do this, and then we can work it out. Because it might be this user ready function that's it might be before this that we're setting that wrong. Both users have nothing to play. The interesting thing is, we hit D here. And, well, no, we hit D, which is fine. And then we hit General. And then we hit nothing afterwards. So that's telling me then that we're hitting a phase where op.facing is not null and user.facing is not null, despite them both not having anything to face. So therefore here then what I want to do is call a console.log op.facing and user.facing, because this shouldn't be the case. Okay. Welcome to anyone new, by the way. Apologies that we are having to do a lot of bug fixing at the moment. Spent quite a while doing this yesterday, and now today we're kicking off the day with more bugs. Okay, so we've hit D. Just immediately we've hit D, which is fine because this person isn't ready, because we haven't submitted this yet. So we'll click the smallest minion, and we've hit General. Right. So what is happening then is that this user.facing is being set to undefined at some point. So oh, because we're hitting D down here. I see. So what we need to do is call this again and do this. Save that. That would be it. I think you just realised that at the same time as me, Sasfok. Which is impressive because it means you've done it earlier. So if the card is not equal to null, then we do this, and otherwise we do this. Right. We might now have something a little bit more functional. Fingers crossed. So we get rid of all of those. This person's got nothing playable. We know what's going to happen. Whoa, it took us up to turn 4. That's interesting, considering this happened. Right. Yeah. This seems to just get called for a random number of times. It seems to just get called for a certain number, for a random number of times. So we seem to be missing a check that the users have nothing playable in their hands. Okay. Hey Matty, I'm pretty good. Doing some bug fixing, which makes me pretty bad, but yeah, not too bad. How are you? Thanks for popping by. Right, so we want to just reset then and just ignore that thing that we were going to fix first thing this morning, but we seem to have hit about 13 other bugs beforehand. So remove these. So we've got one. We'll mulligan that back so we don't get it. Okay. This seems to be kind of okay. So a user is readied up, so we click this. Waiting for opponent. Okay. Oh, because we now got a playable minion. This guy can now attack that minion. We get another card in our hand. This guy can play something. This guy can attack that now. Now this guy isn't readied up though. So there's something wrong with the whole phase there, but we got further than we have before, which is good, and that is something. Hey Simbi, hope you're doing well today. Thanks for popping by again. So we've got a little issue there, and that is when we are down. So this guy's not ready, it says down there. Right, we can probably get rid of all these console logs now, since we've kind of found what we're doing and where we were going wrong. Okay. So our thing now is that we seem to be hitting this ready, not be hitting this ready up sometimes. And I think that's from one of the statements in the server down here. We should be having our opponent ready up at some point. Well, what I would assume that is it'll be one of these down here, because we're never checking what the opponent is facing. It could also be the fact that we haven't got these dot readies in the correct position. So yeah, that's kind of a thing too. So we should do that. You should add a console log to ready up so we can see if it's a function or the conditions. I think it was this that was our issue, because we were doing that. But yeah, that'll be my next step, is adding that to there. Because we also had the these here to show me what our ready status was. So yeah, hopefully this will now work though. This doesn't matter actually, because that could be getting hit, I suppose, at some point, but yeah. Right. Does the other person have a 1-drop? No. Hard mulligan both users for a 1-drop. Get a 1-drop. Oh yeah. So we can now attack this with this guy. Okay, cool. This guy can play a minion. We're waiting for the opponent, which is correct. We'll play this guy for this guy. So now he's submitted that. We don't seem to have readied up one of these users. So this one's waiting for the opponent. This one isn't bothered. And this is the one where we just played the card from, isn't it? Potentially. I'd need to triple check that though. Right. I think we're almost getting there though. I think we're almost there, so we just need to have some little tests going on at the moment and seeing which cases are screwing up. The issue with trying to do everything on your own. You don't have someone to play against. You should add back the console logs to the conditions. Yeah, I probably will do at some point. So this guy's got a 1-drop. We'll make this guy not have a 1-drop. So we put this up. So the user has readied up. And so we've played a card from him. He's now got to attack this. Okay, it skipped us straight to turn 3. Again, that is a bit of an issue at the moment, I think. So this guy's played a minion now. And he's ready. And this guy's going to play a minion. We still got this attack duel, though. So it seems to be the turns after turn 1, where, like, if I click attack duel opponent, what happens here? It shows up now, but it didn't show up before, which is kind of interesting. And now we've got them both waiting for opponent. Yeah, we've got a little issue there. Maybe even check the player booleans so that you can closely examine the conditions playing out every move. Yeah, it's kind of tricky, do you know what I mean? I mean, it's possibly, like, if I show you, so we start off with like 4 different possibilities, right? So we've got like both users having a card, one user having a card, the other user having a card, and both users having a card. And then we get to a attacking phase, which is kind of linear, so only one person can attack. But then they could kill that minion, or they might not kill that minion. So all of these then have a second branch from them, from that particularly linear point. And then we have to, if they have killed that minion, or if they haven't killed that minion, that's a second branch there. And this part then is quite linear. We just go forwards with it. Well, these two here have both of them killed it, and then we've got another 4 branch, and yeah. Keeping track of all of this is really quite tricky, especially when what goes here and on one of these two is literally this point. So yeah, keeping track of everything is pretty tricky, but that's part of it, I guess. So what do we need to do? Don't save that. Okay. So we'll get rid of that for now. So where are the most of our issues? Well, let's just try and find one issue in one place and see what happens and why that happens. And then fixing one bug at a time, we may actually end up fixing more than one bug, or making more than one bug, as is probably going to be the case. Okay, so we'll make this person try and have a playable minion, and we'll just leave this because we won't have a minion. So a player has a playable minion. This guy is waiting, so we're going to click that playable minion. This guy is now ready. This guy is not ready because it can attack, which is good. That's what we want. So if we click attack duel opponent, we hit it, and we're both now back to false because we can both play a card. Now this guy should be ready because he can't play a card. So when I click that, he's true. Now he's not ready, but this might have screwed up. I'll have to double check where we're calling that from. And so now if we attack dual opponent here, it kills that. And this guy is now waiting for the opponent because he doesn't have a playable card. We play this card here, and he's now ready because he has nothing to do. Now this guy hits that, and now he's waiting for an opponent. So if it's one of our lower if statements here, that is our issue, because one of these guys is not ready now.
I'm going to hit with boxes of stuff.
Okay. What if we click attack dual opponent again? It disappears. Oh, hang on. Okay. Keep getting to the wrong thing now. This guy is still not able to do anything because he's not ready. Why is he not ready? Yeah, we hit this point. Right. So if the opponent is not ready, we hit this. So we need to call a console log here. Opponent is not ready. We already know they're not ready, right? So if we know that they're not ready, why are they not ready? If the opponent is not facing anything, we just set this to false. Oh, here. This is where we're going wrong. There. That should fix something up. Not sure what, but it should fix something up. Oops. Smallest minion, and now this guy can attack. Now the thing is, we aren't showing wait for opponent if the user has nothing, so we need to remember to do that. So if facing is null and op facing true, show WFO isn't working. But apart from that, then let's attack that. Okay, we now go forwards in turns. Now this guy should have been able to have played something, but we already know of that issue. Now why did that not push an update to this user or that user? We're hitting some really weird lines here that I don't think I'm expecting. Okay. There's never going to be... If you mean as in, like, if you have... You can only ever be facing one thing. And the board is a completely different thing which we haven't even implemented yet. Yay. So yeah. That's what we need. Well, that's that pretty much. I'm just going to take a quick break. I'll be 1 minute and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I'm wondering whether or not I should just possibly recode the basically everything after the mulligan phase. We seem to be having a lot of issues with it right now. If we do a fresh recode, we will have like a much more since I've already sort of developed it badly, hopefully the second time round it would be better. Because we're getting so many issues with kind of communication errors, it seems, between the two users. I think we might just have to restart the everything after the mulligan phase. I just threw that everywhere. Yeah. We might do that. Whether or not that's the best thing is the tricky part here. Yeah, we're running into too many errors for this to actually be considered good code. In my opinion, at least. I mean, there's certain parts of it that are playable, right? So rendering the cards is fine, this toggle selected is fine. I think everything after that really is where it starts going downhill. Okay. So we aren't going to show any of these at the moment. And a lot of this is going to go. User ready. Get turn num. Okay. So let's see how this handles at the moment. Get turn num. User ready. Okay. So this start turn here, we call the reload hand. Right, let's see what happens here then. So what have we got at the moment? Okay, so we'll remove all of these from our hand and do that. Right. Uncaught reference error on client socket handler. Start turn is not defined. Where? Client socket handler. Line 45. Start turn is not defined. So that was over here then. Undo. Where's our start turn then? Here. Okay. And then we want to get rid of, hang on, is this called set turn number? No. Okay. So let's confirm that mulligan and confirm that mulligan. Okay, we're now at a point where we can fill in the turn number, and these here are doing something they shouldn't be able to at the moment, which is kind of weird. Or maybe it's not. Hang on. Where do we toggle this on selected? So if document.getElementById by ID turn number container is null, then we set the on click to that. So here we call socket.emit get turn num, which I'm fairly sure shouldn't do anything right now. Yeah. But that's fine. Create element turn container. If document.getElementById attack dual opponent is null, right, we need to remove that. So here we have a socket.emit get turn number, and then we create the turn number container. But then where are we setting what the turn number is? Oh, I suppose that'll be over here, socket.on getting the turn number. Hey Moose, how's it going? No, we don't have the get turn num at the moment, but I'm confused as to why, well, where we were setting the turn number therefore. Okay, it was probably on a socket.on. So over here we'll do a socket.on get turn number, and we'll do a function socket handler dot get turn number or turn num, and we'll pass through the socket because that's all we should need. We still have our get game by socket, so over here then what we need to do for get turn num, function socket. So when we get the turn number, we want to probably increment the turn number, right? No, we never want to do that because that happens twice then. So what we want to do is we want to say var game equals get game by socket, and then what we want to do is put this into the, when do we call this? Socket.on reload hand function minion hand, load the hands. So we call this start turn, and this will only ever happen once, so we can increment the get turn number. So we can just do here then game.turn num plus plus, and we want to send that to both players, don't we? Yeah. So what we want to do then is say, well, the thing is the other person isn't ever creating their turn number container though. Ah, today is not a good day. Right. So we do that. But when we call this start turn, this is only ever happening for one user, right? So we shouldn't be doing this here. It's more the fact that we done a load of code which had a load of bugs, and I've deleted said code because it was just too spaghetti. And now it's just a bit like crap. We have really bad code. So yeah, we've got a bit of an issue, which I'm not actually sure how to resolve right now. I think the first step will be to stop streaming, as I'd need to sort of work on it and work it out. I might stream again in a bit if I manage to get my head around what I need to do. But thanks for watching anyway, guys. Apologies that this is the sort of line that we've had to take this morning. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all maybe later, maybe tomorrow. Bye bye.